Good afternoon, good evening, good day, wherever you are. Happy holidays. Well, they already passed by, but Happy New Year. We are back here into HeroesCCL presented by Wisdom. We had a nice little break where we were able to relax and, well, some of these teams were also able to scrim up a little bit more. My name is Bahamut. I am joined by Grubby and Justing as this is our first broadcast for HeroesCCL in 2022. It's really, really exciting. But before we get into everything that is HeroesCCL, the ladder, all of that good stuff, I got to catch up with my amazing casters and analysts and friends as well. So, Grubby, how was your break? Did you get up to anything fun?
Yeah, we actually got a chance to have a little getaway in a very not busy place, little snow cabin. And Logan got to play in the snow a little bit, just for a couple of days. So that was great. How about you? How was you guys' vacation?
Oh, mine was pretty fun. Got to go to Michigan. Had to travel for about 36 hours straight. Awake for 42 of those hours. But either way, it was a good time to see family and friends. And Justin, how was your holiday break as well, my friend?
Yeah, it was good. I went to my brother's. I got to see his new baby, so that's cool.
Oh, congratulations.
I'm an uncle, yeah, as of a couple months ago. So I got to go see him and play with him. They strapped him into this like jumping machine, which was pretty funny. Where I just got to see him hop around. It was fun, and then just played a bunch of video games after during the break. So I'm ready for some games though. I'm excited.
Yeah,
Nice.
A lot of games were had over the break, and unfortunately during the break we do have to we just want to extend our condolences, our support, and sympathy to the family of Hugo Petrugo. He was the manager for Granit Gaming, and we are saddened to say that he did pass away over the holiday break. So we will be holding a moment of silence for Hugo Petrugo, the Granit Gaming team manager. Once again, we do express our deepest sympathy and condolences to the family of Hugo Petrugo, as well as to Granit Gaming, as he was the team manager for them. And we also do really, really thank him in his time for the support that he gave to Heroes of the Storm, as well as to Granit Gaming. And it's an unfortunate thing, but thank you all for participating in the moment of silence. Thank you so much to Wisdom and HeroesCCL for organizing this and giving his life a little bit more of a it's hard to say. It's really hard to say here, and I'm struggling a little bit, and I really do apologize because it's really hard to shift from something that serious and unfortunate back into HeroesCCL, but we have to do that. So at this time, we're gonna have to shift back into our main broadcast, and we want to start talking about prize pool. And so we can go ahead and start looking at the prize pool because 60% of the prize pool will be going to the players, as first place will be taking 35% of said 60%. And as always, to be transparent with all of you at home, 40% will be coming back to Wisdom to be able to create graphics, cover the league expenses, as well as run some amazing broadcasts. Because of your support, we've hit $10,330.69. If you'd like to check out the Matcherino or donate towards the prize pool, you can use !prize pool in chat. And now, Grubby, on a lighter note here, I do believe we have got a little bit of a Grubby incentive for the prize pool coming towards the end of our season here.
Yeah, I hope people see it as an incentive and not a deterrent. Because, I've actually been having a bit of a shift in careers. Many of you know me as a pro gamer or ex-pro gamer, pro streamer perhaps, pro commentator. But I've also been kind of dipping my toes into pro singing. I know it may be hard to believe, but I've had a few successful Age of Empires songs, and recently I started working on a Heroes of the Storm song, and I think it's ready. So if we do reach 15K in donations by the end of this season, and the sooner the better, I mean, I'm sure you can't wait, I will be performing a Heroes of the Storm themed parody song live here on the CCL.
Could I twist your arm just a little bit and maybe you know what, maybe at 1K or like at 11,000 maybe we could like twist your arm and we could find out like maybe what's the tune of the song or something like that.
Okay, sure.
Something like that.
Maybe every 1,000, 11,000, 12,000, 13,000, I can drop a hint to what it's about, either to what theme it's about, what let's say what subject in Heroes of the Storm it's about, and we can work our way to 15 hopefully.
That's cool. We get like baby incentives for the big incentive. That's really, really exciting there. And all right, well, now you all know about that really cool incentive we do have for the Match Arena prize pool. So as I said, exclamation point prize pool to check that out. But let's start talking about the ladder. Let's start talking about what's happened and catch everyone up here, Justin, as to what we're going to be doing here today on HeroesCCL.
So we're starting out, we're going to be seeing the beginning of the Gauntlet unfold here with Granit Gaming versus Chili Mountain in the first round. And the winner of that is going to have to go up against Storm Esports, which is my favorite coming out of the Gauntlet overall. So really, really tough competition for either team that does manage to make it out, whether it's Granit or Chili Mountain. And we'll find that out later today. And then the winner of Storm and that will play against the winner. We'll play against Oxygen, we'll play against Diamond Hands. So it's a gauntlet for a reason, because you need to beat everyone above you if you're Granit or Chili Mountain in order to make it to the finals. So they've got a long road ahead for both of these teams, trying to get into that top 4 for playoffs.
And now, Grubby, let's actually talk about that top 4. Who are we going to be seeing over there, and who's kind of sitting and enjoying themselves for this weekend?
Biggest dark horse of all, TBD, limitless potential, which is of course to be determined. One of the teams that is coming up on the bracket, but the teams that are already here is the number 1 in the league standings, 30K. They're going to be up against whoever comes up from the Gauntlet. Whether that's a curse or a blessing remains to be seen. On the other side, we've got the rank 2 and 3 from the league standings. Simplicity, our back-to-back victor of Season 1 and 2, and Wild Heart Esports. And they finished rank 2 and 3. Fantastic teams, great standings, a lot of wins. Let's see how it's going to be getting on in that playoff bracket. But for now, we're going to be focusing on that Gauntlet.
Yeah, the Gauntlet, the ladder bracket, it's really, really exciting. I was this past week, I was just sitting there on stream, like I was trying to figure out like, okay, who do I expect to move through the bracket and win like that? So I'll have to see if my expectations are met or if I'm completely incorrect on all of that. And it's just really, really exciting stuff for our bracket, a lot of play stuff. And you know what else is really, really exciting is our amazing sponsor, Next Level Gaming. They are a Miami-based LAN center where you can play Heroes of the Storm and you can watch HeroesCCL on Saturday and Sunday during their live watch parties. Not only can you watch the games, but as I said, you can play them, and they've got a lot of really cool upgraded equipment over at Next Level Gaming. They have an HP Omen with Intel i7 and RTX 3090s. That is a hefty beast of a computer. And of course, with those nice graphics and speed, you got to have nice monitors. There's a 24-inch monitor at 240 hertz, or you can get a 32-inch monitor at 144 hertz. So pretty strong computer and a lot of cool stuff if you want to check that out if you live in the Miami area or you want to travel down there. Exclamation point NXT in chat to find out all about them. But now that we've covered everything from the prize pool to our standings to our sponsors, the next thing we got to talk about here is these rosters. I want to start digging into the Granit Gaming and Chili Mountain roster so we can start breaking down and maybe starting to build up our expectations here, Grubby, for what we might see from Granit and or Chili Mountain.
Yeah, that's, I mean, there's a big question mark because both of the teams have had a lot of time to prepare. They know they have to be prepared for the long run. So I think we're going to see more private strength, personal growth orientation practice in the last couple of weeks if they've used their holidays to prepare, and less deliberate just countering your opponents. If you want to make it through the Gauntlet, there's no way you can just counter 4 teams in a row in the draft and like out strategize everybody. You got to come in hot with your foundations, with your strengths. So that's what we need to see. We need to see good meta understanding and adaptation.
We got to see these teams come out swinging and, justing on the opposing side battleground for Chili Mountain. I mean, they're the ones who really, really need to kind of show up today, I feel.
Yeah, Chile Mountain doesn't have the best record, and they have shown some improvement towards the end of the season. They've made a lot of roster adjustments with the addition of Copenhagen and Ultralisk, and right now as it stands, they have Banana H on support, Berghalt, which is sort of either an offlane or a tank player, we're not entirely sure right now. We have Make playing flex, Copenhagen, who's typically the offlaner, Ultralisk, who's also just a ranged flex, and Azerite, who as of recently, when we last saw them, was playing tank. So I'll be interested to see whether or not Azerite is continuing that, if he's still the tank player for the team, because they did have a lot of time to prepare. So we're gonna hopefully see Chile Mountain in its strongest form here when it really counts.
This needs to be their final Frieza form, if you will. They can't just mull around and slowly progress through this ladder bracket, as Grubby was saying. You got to come out swinging today, and I do agree. Like, I'm really excited about just the potential of what we could see today. And the potential is already actually coming through, because we can find out where we're going to go to from map number 1. And I can get you caught up as to how we got to Sky Temple, chosen by Chile Mountain. If I'm not mistaken, during the ladder playoff, the home team, or the left-hand side team, which is Granite Gaming, will have the option of first pick or map pick. They chose first pick, banning out Tomb of the Spider Queen, and Chile Mountain bans out the map that is Battlefield of Eternity. And as always, I got some stats for all of you at home. Granite Gaming on Sky Temple, they are 2-0. Members of Chile Mountain are 1-2. So a better record for Granite Gaming, as they are heading into a map chosen by Chile Mountain that's a little bit more comfortable. Either way, as we're getting into Sky Temple, I want to get your thoughts here, Justin, of what we could see prioritized when it comes to the draft from either team.
So globals are extremely important on Sky Temple. It's a very large map. You end up in some late game situations like we've seen before, where the team with the globals has just a really huge advantage when it comes down to those final shots, being able to finish off structures, being able to position so that you can play both for the fight and also for the temples is really important. We see Samuro immediately being banned away, so maybe some tech that has been brewing during the break. Samuro with Abathur is extremely strong, and Samuro, if it's piloted well, is just ridiculous. So a lot of respect for the members of Chile Mountain and any potential cheese strategies they may have in store. Especially with that Mayab, we've seen Ultralisk really heavily favoring that. So good bans coming out from both teams, but Haka Falstad available, Johanna Rhaegar still available. I would expect some combination of these to be picked fairly early on.
There's that Rhaegar to be picked up. A little fun fact here, Grubby, as you are, in my opinion, the aficionado on Hoggers. That was the 10th ban this season from Chile Mountain on Hogger. 10.
Yes, Cortana plays Hogger quite a bit, and I think he plays it fairly well. And maybe they think he's a little bit better on that than on some of the other heroes. Hogger can escape quite well with his Hog Wild. I've been impressed actually with the last couple of playdays where Hogger was played and picked. He doesn't spin through the enemy non-stop trying to be a ping pong ball of destruction. Good Hogger players use their Shockwave into Staggering Blow with the Loot Horde to delete a single target, while mostly staying back, recognizing how vulnerable he has become after the nerfs post-release Hogger.
Yeah, we actually had that clip of Liam in our highlight where he was actually hog-wilding around a little bit and getting some value. But let's actually start breaking things down here, because a lot's happened in the draft, Justin.
Yeah, so the global now being banned out by Chile Mountain, they have Brightwing for their own global versus the Dahaka on the side of Granite Gaming. Overall, Granite Gaming has gotten Rhaegar, Johanna, which were the most highly sought-after picks early on in the draft in the previous weeks before the playoffs. So and getting the Dahaka, that's just kind of been a threat the whole season. So right now, with what we have, I'm heavily favoring what Granite Gaming has. Johanna just does ridiculous amount of damage, and it's going to be the main tank Johanna, but it doesn't really make a big difference. Just for in-team fights, her damage output is just ridiculous for a tank. So Chile Mountain's going to have some kind of either unique strategy or have really good coordination and be able to play for some kind of wombo combo if they're going to want to make the early priority on Blaze work versus what has been drafted for Granite Gaming.
With the setup so far from Granite Gaming, Justin, I actually wanted to follow up really quickly. Is there any sort of Viking cheese, or is there any Viking potential to come out from Chile Mountain? Or do you think it's just not possible for Sky Temple here?
In general, it's possible, but I think it would be really difficult to pull off against what Granite Gaming has drafted. They have wave clear across the board in roles that typically don't even have it. So they have Johanna, who has wave clear on a tank, which is quite rare, as well as Rhaegar being pretty much the only support that has any wave clear. So I think it might be a bit difficult if they do look to go that route, because Granite Gaming's last two picks can pretty much be anything, and they should have enough wave clear.
And as we get those last 2 picks, gotta get your thoughts here, Grubby, as I've let you kind of sit there and ponder and pontificate as to what we could potentially get from these drafts.
Yeah, I expected the Cassia to be coming out. Makes a lot of sense. So does Hanzo, because Hanzo is a way to engage where Johanna and Dahaka can have trouble engaging by themselves. So now you're bringing a raw damage range DPS that can also open with an arrow. I think that's an excellent choice for Granite Gaming. Cassia's blind, damage bonus synergy, synergizes well with Johanna. We have a lot of high prio picks with 2 logical final picks. I'm loving what Granite Gaming put together. Cassia's gonna have to mind her positioning though to stop getting from all in by a stun of Blaze since it's short range.
Yeah, there's so much CC train potential for the side of Chili Mountain, but we only have Justing for a few minutes as we're loading on into the map, and I have to get your breakdown on what these drafts look like.
So we have double ranged on the side of Granite Gaming with the Cassia and the Hanzo, which is just going to do more damage in a sustained fight against Chili Mountain. Chili Mountain's composition is very combo based, it's very combo heavy. They have the Blaze with the big stun, with the Anubrak having the AoE stuns, with Rexar having the dog stun, so the bear stun. So it's they need to be on point with their combos on the side of Chili Mountain, because as soon as they fail a combo, fail an engage, Granite Gaming should basically just run over them, and it's not an easy task to do, to lock down a Johanna or a Dahaka on the front line. They're really going to need to try to get onto that back line and either stun up the Rhaegar or the Cassia or the Hanzo, because if they fail their engage, they should basically automatically lose the team fight after that. So the burden of execution is heavily placed on Chili Mountain in this game. And Granite Gaming also just has probably better macro with the Johanna, Rhaegar, Dahaka, with the wave clear, with the Dahaka global being so strong. I'm definitely preferring what Granite Gaming is drafting here in Game 1.
I'm right there with you. I think Granite Gaming has probably the stronger draft. There could be some shining moments from Chili Mountain. I'm not 100% counting them out because a Nubrak with a Burrow Charge, Blaze follows up with the Jet Propulsion, Misha with the stun as well, Brightwing with a Polymorph, and you've got Greymane shredding through heroes at the same time. It could be explosive, and we're going to find out here because we've just loaded on into Sky Temple. Thank you, Justing, as always, for your breakdown and analysis as we are getting on into the map number 1 in our first best of 5 of the day. Grubby, we are here into our gauntlet, our ladder bracket. On the left-hand side, we got Granite Gaming. We got Dahaka, played by Swamp Grata, Gia on the Cassia, Henning on the Rhaegar, Hanzo, and we have Red Robot on the Joanna. Over in the red, we're looking at Chili. We've got Banana on the Brightwing, Make on the Blaze, Azurite on the Anubrak, Copen on the Rexar, Misha to play Misha, and Ultralisk will be playing Greymane. Grubby, I'm looking at a Granite Gaming win. Sounds a little bit like you and Justing are maybe on the same page, but do you have any thoughts on what we could see here?
Yeah, definitely. I think Granite Gaming has all the meta picks, all the strengths. That does mean they're predictable. Maybe Chili Mountain will be able to leverage that predictability and have some strong rotations with their heavy CC lineup, make no mistake. They've got the CC, and they've already taken the first tower. Never count out Ultralisk's macro understanding, which he's been bringing a lot of to Chili Mountain. Even though it hasn't borne any best of 5 victory fruits yet, Greymane and Nubrak on Sky Temple are absolutely fearsome. Azurite's tanking has looked pretty good as well. So while we've got all the OP picks for Granite, the game is more than just how much damage you're dealing. It's also, can you kill each other's buildings? And while the Haka is a better global, Greymane and Nubrak can do really strong pushes on the side. So let's see how it plays out. Both teams will have had plenty of time to rest up and bring their A-game.
For anyone that might have, by the way, missed it right before the holiday break, we did have a patch that dropped, and that is also the reason we're seeing such a hot priority onto Rhaegar. Even Joanna as well with the double shield glare at level 1, the Zealous glare, and there's a lot of synergies with some later talents, especially with the level 20, the Blinded by Light, if I'm not mistaken, where you can just get cooldown reduction. You can basically get Storm Shield, and then you get cooldown reduction from Shield Glare, so it's such a strong tool. And then Rhaegar baseline's amazing, but Gia right now in bottom lane wasn't listening to you in draft, Grubby. You said Gia needs to watch his positioning, and that is going to be First Blood to Chili Mountain.
Yeah, don't get stunned. Don't get stunned. Cassia. Of course, it was 4v1. This is just smart rotations, right? All jokes aside, Chili Mountain are catching opportunities. Look at how mobile they are. Greymane is now on the Bruiser camp already. Just seconds ago, he destroyed Cassia's dreams. Here they are on the Bruiser camp at a very early timing. 2 minutes, not trying to aim for some kind of 2-minute 30 coinciding with the objective or what have you. Just getting it early. Then we'll see. Is Chili Mountain going to push with that, try to kill the Bruiser Camp of Granite Gaming, or are they going to switch tack again and go all the way to the bottom lane and create a power imbalance, forcing response in the top and then going bot? We'll see what it's going to be.
So I'm Grotto with that Hearth right there made me a little bit nervous. He does have the brush stock available, and that's why we're seeing Dahaka meander down into bottom lane. I'm curious if we actually see the Rhaegar maybe go into the Purification at 7 for the cooldown reduction on his Purge when you basically get a cleanse on someone who's stunned or slowed, and then you could get Pit Fighter at level 20 for even more cooldown reduction so long as you're around one friendly hero, or one ally, excuse me. So this is... there's a lot of potential. I love the new Rhaegar so much, and I barely get to play him. My friends in Storm League barely get to play him because he's always banned out. But it's cool to see Rhaegar back into our meta, as Make and Swamp Grotto will be brawling out in bottom lane. As I mentioned, Swamp Grotto does have the brush stock if he wants to join the rest of the team, but I think it's going to be defense through bottom and some trading on these objectives.
And Blaze has been pressuring him well. Maka made sure that he has no essence. He's got about 6 essence right now or so. So he was a bit low. Just going to tap the fountain and clear out bottom lane once again. In terms of tempo control, it's a little bit 50-50, but now Chili Mountain is making a play on the top lane. They're going to go for Gia. Gia is full mana. He doesn't have a lot of life. He gets attacked, gets a really nice blind on Ultralisk right before Ultralisk gets some of those talons inside the sides of Gia. So he protected himself well. Extra help from the rest of his Granite Gaming teammates. They will be cleaning up the rest of the temple. You know what? I think they have to step off right before they have it all. Perfect timing, actually, by Henning.
Well, that was risky from Henning to dive back in with that that bite, but they're looking to chase in on the side of Granite Gaming. Ultralisk is going to go down. That'll be the first kill for the side of Granite Gaming, as they do find the quarter kill into Misha. Is it quarter or half? I always forget.
It's a quarter. It's a quarter.
Sorry, I was like, wait a minute. She is a
Only
bear.
Diva
She's Diva Mech. That's the one. Sorry, because I was like, I know Vikings are quarter, but I was like, she's a bear. She's a little bit larger than a Viking, so maybe she counts for a little bit more.
Yeah. I think Diva Mech is half, and then when you kill the pilot, it's another half. And all the minis are like a quarter. And Shogal, I'm sure you know.
Shogal is so good. He's so good that no one in CCL plays him. That's how good Shogal is. Everyone's just too afraid.
So he never dies. He never gives double XP.
Nope. He never gives double stacks to... he doesn't give double blood to the Butcher either. He definitely does not do that.
So he's the best one to go die into Butcher. That's
absolutely. Yeah.
They're trying to get Swamp Grotto here in the bottom lane, but I mean, like, that's an ambitious kill on any given day. Drag Tongue attempt on Make, but Banana H with the immediate polymorph is going to shut that down.
This is looking like another attempt to re-engage. We do have the enhanced agility for Dahaka, so he has a longer duration of how fast he can move. It moves from 2 seconds to 5, but you also can slowly scale up your speed to be actually 10% faster than mount speed. Right now, he's sitting at 126%. When he's at 5 stacks, he'll be at mount speed, which is 130. Now, either way, we have another temple popping up here in the bottom lane. 10 Talonteers are coming through soon for both teams. When this temple spawns, do you want to jump into some comms here, Grubby?
Yeah, it's been a while since we heard from the players. Let's see how they are getting on. Will be good to hear maybe from Granite Gaming.
All right, well, we'll jump into Granite once that temple does get announced, because right now Make is trying to back out of mid lane. Red Robot's looking to slow down this engagement with the 10 talent here. Falling Sword was the choice, no Blessed Shield. This might be a Falling Sword moment, not even necessary, as Carbon hits a nice scatter to kind of deter the enemy side, but here I think is the moment. You want to jump into those Granite Gaming comms?
Yeah, let's do it.
In we go.
I think on the Bruiser, can we?
We can reinforce.
Okay,
I'll catch mid, then you guys can do it.
Yeah.
I'm AFK.
So do this, and I'll go top with it, and then we can collapse on bot. I think they're doing the same thing with the Gaming.
Can the Hage finish it and someone come bot? They're gonna push bot.
I'm bot right now.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, we're coming back.
Yeah. Okay. I'll tap the point.
No idea if they push top, actually.
No, I don't think.
Yeah, they are.
Okay, they are.
Oh, they're club.
Okay,
Fine, I'm coming. Walk downwards
I'm out.
Nice. So we're getting point.
Get there with more. I don't want to
I'm
lose this
coming,
for
I'm
free.
here. I'm here with you.
Take them under forward.
Yeah, nice.
I'm coming top.
Nice
as well.
Anubis Omega
Anubis
chance now.
super low, so that's
Hey.
really good.
Yeah.
You guys are fine top, right? I'm gonna help
Just gonna
bottom.
pre-
No, defend
yeah.
this.
Yeah, you guys are fine.
Can Misha,
I'm
can
gonna
Misha, we
bot.
can.
Okay, he's TPing up.
That's TP.
Yeah.
I'm polyed. No
Yeah.
poly. We just clear the wave, if we can.
Nice. I think we kill. Let's bunker.
Yeah.
They're gonna get this ward, there's nothing we can do about it.
Block the stun.
Here,
careful,
cocoon, here,
cocoon.
cocoon.
He's trying to web.
I got you
Yeah.
if you get cocoon.
Oh, Jesus.
Look here, maybe. Silence him. Close.
Yeah.
Nice.
For a
Good
while,
job.
but
Nice one.
nice.
Okay, we can look top as
Look
well now. I
alive.
have ancestor and shit. Yeah, we can look here more.
Okay.
No stun.
Look right wing.
I'm blind.
They're
I will
there.
totem.
Yeah,
I'm
nice,
gonna totem here.
I'm getting the wave.
Oh, they are through here.
Right wing is TPing out.
Yeah, fine.
Yeah.
Oh, you're dead.
I'm right in TP. My bad.
Yeah.
I can come to your red. Look.
I'm too low. Just like, oh, okay.
Grim.
Okay, Care.
Good that
It's
Tom.
only you.
Okay.
Let's try.
Some extremely fun moments in those comms, Grubby, as we got to hear a little bit of the insight of how Granite Gaming were playing on the macro sense with this Dahaka. Definitely like the communication. A little bit lacking, in my opinion, when it comes to the bottom lane point, and I think it was also kind of good because they left comms open for the top lane. So it was a little bit like I was waiting. I was like, is bottom lane dying? And then yeah, it was a little overextension,
Yeah.
but still, cool stuff
we
to
heard
hear.
a lot of what they want. Like,
Yep.
they get kills. What else do we want? But we don't maybe hear enough caution about what could happen and go wrong.
Yes.
Would you say that's fair?
Yeah, I mean, the bottom lane basically... Oh, wait, hold on. I'm going to pause that thought because Curse Bolt
Yep.
will connect into Joanna's face as she does pop the Iron Skin. Carbon gets
Carbon.
an agility over the wall, and it's a really awkward spot. The Blaze comes in with the Jet Propulsion Ball. Lightning is bouncing from player to player. It's not going to yield kill, but Gia gets that snipe with one auto attack. Ultralisk will need to back away on that Grey Mane. There's a bunker down on the ground, and Nubrax inside. Make trying to build a little bit of space, or at least make some space, but oh, nice space created. Azurite's able to get the burrow charge away, but those comms, I agree, Grubby. In those comms from Granite, we didn't hear cautionary stuff like in that bottom lane. All of a sudden, Greymane was down there shredding through, and then Brightwing happened to had already TP, and they're like, oh, there's a TP coming in. Like, whoa!
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and the comms were all about like trying to kill Brightwing top, but he sure gave them the wraparound banana H there, like not gonna be caught there from that. Big Curse Bullet polymorph play coming in on Johanna here. When does he have Iron Skin? It's still in a 10-second cooldown, but he gets the help from his team. Azurite drops real low. He burrow charges away, and the disengage continues. So, taking stock of the situation, Granite Gaming got a few important counter kills. In terms of the structures, though, they are still a fort behind. They also have a little bit of keep and wall damage on their other lanes. And bottom fort is still being protected by Chili Mountain. It's that little bit of a level lead here, Bahamut, that's going to have to prove to be the key for Granite Gaming to actually win Sky Temple. Buildings is everything, and Ubrak drops low. Brightwing will not be able to go out in time. That's exactly what Granite Gaming needed in order to come back in terms of structures. Now this leaves the way open for a boss. On the other hand, double objective is up. That's far more important, and you already have Copen pressuring mid-tempo by stealing a few shots. And I say a few, but it's more than 10 shots.
And more than half of this temple has gone over the side of Chili Mountain in the mid area. Excuse me. Bottom lane did get those last few shots onto the fort. Now this is an awkward spot for Joanna. She does pop the Iron Skin, is able to get some shield glare, which mitigates the Ultralisk value. Dahaka comes in with a drag onto Make that was intended for Ultralisk, and he can't find the kill. A huge curse bullet. Cassia just getting shredded. Red Robot should fall, but it's forced. Excuse me. Oh, no.
What a disaster here for Granite Gaming. Chili Mountain, well done. They're practically with 3 people into 5. Rexar pressured the middle. Dahaka tried to push Rexar off by himself. Then it kind of devolved into this, we can still do this, right? Like, we're all full life, everything's looking good. Let's get the drag tongue on Greymane. Oh, I got Blaze, but maybe that still works out. Meanwhile, you have one person, Rhaegar in fact, doing the whole bottom temple, and they're just trying to get a little bit too much, I think, Granite Gaming. They're trying to fight off away from the temple while 1 or 2 people are on it. And even though Chili Mountain had 1 or 2 members dead, they were very happy to take that fight. And some big stunts from Anubarak and Blaze led to Greymane capitalizing and proving that even a full HP Cassia, who is known as the counter to Greymane, can't stay alive into a Greymane that Cursed Bullets her. And when she's stunned and doesn't have that 30 armor. So GR goes down again. He's at 3 deaths now. They're really punishing the short-range assassin that is vulnerable to CC. She needs Rhaegar there with her to get that cleanse out.
I 100% agree, because these chain CCs are just devastating from the side of Chili Mountain. And that was when I was actually making my prediction. I was like, oh, you know, Granite Gaming, yeah, they've got a stronger draft, all that. But if Chili Mountain can execute as they have been, this game, it moves away from like 30-70 sort of deal where I was like 30% for Chili Mountain to win. It's moving more closer to like a 50-50 in my eyes as this game has progressed. And I'm blown away. And the biggest thing too to note, Make on this Blaze has made so many good jet propulsions, and the reason that Joanna actually died was the level 13 collision course. Basically, the basic damage from a jet propulsion is like 97, but collision course adds in like another 510 or so, so like that is a chunk of HP, as we have a bit of a skirmish right now. Gia, once again, the target does get the Ancestor Healing, now dives in onto Nubrak, trying to keep the ball lightning going, but he's not able to continue the proximity next to a Nubrak to keep that bouncing going, and a double temple phase, but the map pressed into the side of Granite Gaming.
Yeah, that was a massive win for Chili Mountain there. Both of the tanks using their abilities to get away, Burrow Charge, Bunker, and Jet Propulsion, all while Granite Gaming had no time to clear up the lanes. Bruiser Camp top, Siege Camp bottom, and that even creates an advantage to grab the temples quicker. We've got Chili Mountain grabbing both temples. They're getting massively ahead on structures. Now they need to stay alive here. If they do, they're in a great spot. If Granite Gaming can get 1 or 2 kills, they're gonna maybe ride that to a keep kill.
Ultralisk is playing this Greymane so well. Every single time Swampgrad is going for some sort of drag setup kill onto Greymane, he's just sidestepping it, outplaying the moment. Ultralisk right now is playing this Greymane so critically well, and I mean, he has to. He is the hyper carry for this team. He is the damage per se, but Haka gets top lane temple, bottom lane does go over, and we have a fight breaking out once again, Grubby.
Yeah, Make missing his jet propulsion there. It's actually kind of a big deal, because when he hits it, he can get armor. He can get 10 armor per enemy hero hit. Plus, you know, people are literally stunned, so they can't hit him even if they wanted to. Missing it often makes Blaze feel like a fish out of the water. Luckily for him, he didn't get blown up, nor did he have to use Bunker. Overall, Make has been playing a super solid game. In fact, it may surprise some to find out that Blaze has the highest hero damage on the side of Chili Mountain.
I didn't even look at that stat yet. Hold on. Can we get that on broadcast as well? Can we look at these stats? I know Hanzo's got 38,486, but you're right. Blaze, he may be down 10,000, but he still has 28,815, and the closest on his team is Greymane. Yes, 26,000, 2,000 difference, but still, like, I am blown away by this, and what I'm blown away is, oh, I thought we were going to see a Joanna kill. Good cocoon onto the Rhaegar on the left-hand side, so there's no Ancestor Healing available. It is off of cooldown. 20 talents here in favor for Chili Mountain, and they want this fight so bad. Boars unleashed by the Rexar. He does have the kill command, so that is going to root people, but here comes the Falling Sword for the cleanse. Ancestor Healing was used. Ball Lightning does go out. Still no 20s to the side of Granite Gaming, and they're holding this fight okay as they slowly but surely back away and retreat to a safe area.
Wow, very, very well done by Granite Gaming. They were just seconds behind the level 20. They managed to do a full getaway without dying. No boss up yet, 50 seconds. This was Chili Mountain catching a very lean, trim timing. They did a great job of it, but even their level 20s were not enough in order to clinch a victory there and get a kill. Would have been huge if they had at this point in the game. But not quite able to. Now, back to defense. One keep ahead is Chili Mountain. The boss, 30 seconds away, and the top tempo is coming out. That top tempo represents guaranteed keep kill for Chili Mountain, if they can get it, because the top keep is already hurt. And then they'll get about half of the mid keep as well. In reverse, same thing. Top keep kill for Granite Gaming, should they take the whole thing. But there are options. Look at where they're positioned. Granite Gaming is showing 3 members in mid, showing the Haka bot and someone taking camp. Chili Mountain knows exactly where every single one of the 5 members of Granite Gaming was 10 seconds ago, so they can make a really good conjecture about where the game is going to be going positionally. They can even choose, Chili Mountain, not to fight for this at all, saying, and I think rightly so, we are in a 70-30 situation on the macro front. So if we take a 50-50 fight, we're just playing the bad odds.
Oh, that's a very good Sonic Arrow. Huge follow-up from the from the Rhaegar with the slow, but it's Cassia to go down. She steps forward to try and get the ball lightning and get the secondary ball lightning, but it just doesn't work out. Huge falling sword from Joanna, but everyone jumps in the bunker. Everyone's A-okay on the side of Chili Mountain as they are freezing Granite Gaming out in this fight.
Yeah, this was really nice counterattack by Chili Mountain. It's almost unlucky that the Sonic Arrow hit so purely. If Carbon hadn't hit that Sonic Arrow, he wouldn't have felt incentivized to maybe follow up with the short-range arrow stun from his ult. And then Gia maybe wouldn't have thought, like, we're doing this, we're using big resources, let's jump in. But where was his front line? They weren't there yet.
A Dahaka for Amisha around the boss. I'll be honest here, Grubby. I'm not 100% sold or really sure as to why there was a defense around a boss when you just lost a couple members. Very interesting choice by Granite Gaming, but the correct choice is being made by Chili Mountain. Let's focus in on that because Chili Mountain are breaking what I think they're breaking a lot of expectations right now. Chili Mountain, they're going core. They could start their run against Granite Gaming. This could be the beginning of the end for Granite, maybe. Who knows?
Yeah,
but either way,
nobody beats Chili Mountain 8 times in a row, says Chili Mountain, as they're coming in here with the first victory in this playoffs. Imagine going 0-7 and then winning the whole thing. That would be so sick. The first map of the whole journey has been set on the record, Bahamut.
I was actually when I was talking about this when we were looking at like the potential and I was giving my expectations. I was like, yeah, you know, crazier things have happened, and people in my chat were like, no, Bahamut, no. And then I looked back, I was like, oh right, that season when Simplicity ran it through the bracket, they were in the spot where Storm Esports is right now. So crazier things have not happened, but they could potentially start happening today. Let's get Justin back in here so he can break down how Chili Mountain won that so effectively throughout Sky Temple. It wasn't even just like a point, it was consistent.
Yeah, just taking little small incremental advantages on the side of Chili Mountain. Really well played by them, especially with their composition that should sort of struggle in the macro up against what Granite Gaming had drafted. They did have a ton of wave clear with the Rhaegar, the Dahaka, and the Joe, but it didn't seem like they were really using their tools properly in order to get value out of that. In the early game, fights were relatively back and forth. There wasn't any team hugely pulling ahead, but it felt like every time a temple phase spawned, Chili Mountain just knew what to do better. They had Rexar always in position to steal some shots away, or like in the case where they had Blaze just 1v2ing bottom, and that just allows them to secure shots. They just seem to play the map significantly better and just have a better understanding of the macro. Pretty much every time the teams took fights, it was almost always with an advantageous macro position already prepped on the map for Chili Mountain. Every time Granite Gaming would look for a fight, even if they win the fight, it's not necessarily a winning play for them, because there was that time mid where they do finally get a fight where Granite Gaming's finally able to get a 5v5, but even if that fight is a 3 or a 4 for 0, they don't immediately get to play for the shots that spawned afterwards, because they had Siege Giants pushing in bottom, they had Knights pushing in top. They were just always kind of just getting suffocated on a macro sense by the pressure coming out from Chili Mountain. So it wasn't one big moment. It was just kind of a game of inches that slowly crept up. And in the end, there was a bit of greed coming out from Granite Gaming trying to contest that boss. You really can't contest that 3v5. If you give the boss, you don't necessarily lose the game off of that alone. You are in an awkward situation where the next temple shots would probably end, so you'd have to just try to force something 5v5. And Chili Mountain probably not likely to give that to them, and they might understand that, so that might be why they were feeling so desperate. But yeah, just from start to finish, for the most part, just much better macro coming out from Chili Mountain, and a little bit better team fighting, especially in the second half of that game. The level 20s showing to be really huge for Chili Mountain.
Well, when we're continuing to discuss Sky Temple as we're getting ready for our second map, I'm curious, Justin, was it an executional error from the side of Chili Mountain, as you had said, like they were greedy in some moments, or was this Chili Mountain actually outplaying, per se, the side of Granite Gaming?
It really felt like Chili Mountain, on a macro sense, was just completely rolling over Granite Gaming. The team fights, while they were relatively close, Chili Mountain, before pretty much every single fight they took, there was maybe one fight out of the maybe 10 big skirmishes that happened in the game where there was one fight where Granite Gaming took the fight with a macro advantage, where they had their Siege Giants pushing bottom. But in almost every other situation, Chili Mountain just had already prepped the map ahead of time. So they're taking fights where even if they trade 1 for 1 or 2 for 1, they're still in an advantageous situation on the map. And as soon as the temples spawn, immediately they have people soaking those shots. And it's not often that you have a fort available still when the enemy team has none on Sky Temple. Typically, you trade about even at that point. So really well played by Chili Mountain to be able to set up the map so well in Game 1.
And speaking of maps, we know where we're going to go to for map number 2 in this best of 5 series. And Grubby, it's going to be another Chili Mountain pick as Granite Gaming is opting in for first pick priority. We're going to be heading into Alterac Pass. We've got Drekthar and Stormpike Vandar battling out on this wintry map. What's your excitement for this map, maybe draft or even just playstyle-wise?
Yeah, playstyle-wise, Bahamut, it feels similar to Sky Temple, and it's the same team that picked it. Both of these maps do not necessarily emphasize on team fights. You can pick something like Sylvanas, Anubarak, or Greymane to push those side lanes and to just exert your superior macro control, which I think Chili Mountain proved that they had that game. They also had a slightly better composition for it, but they drafted it and they played it to a T. And like you guys said, they even did pretty not too shabby in team fights, which I guess it's okay. They got a bunch of stuns in Greymane, but you would expect the Johanna Rhaegar team to excel in the team fight since they rate statistically so high in terms of the win rate. They just bring a lot of damage suppression and control and damage themselves even. So Chili Mountain going to a similar map again. Really a map that's won by inching out structure damage after structure damage via the objective, which is of course the Null camp. And then of course the secondary objective, the prison camp.
Prison camp is it's useful to buff out your waves. Really quickly, I forgot to mention map stats if anyone's interested. Granite Gaming, they are 50% on this map, 1 win, 1 loss. The side of Chili Mountain, they are 0-2. So Chili Mountain, they're choosing. I mean, it's hard to really talk about map record for Chili Mountain realistically because it's been a hard season for them. But hey, that Sky Temple map looked really good, Justing. And with the question that I want to pose to you is, could Chili Mountain sort of rinse and repeat and do the exact same thing on Alterac Pass?
Yeah, the map plays out very similar to Sky Temple. It's a pretty slow early game map unless you kind of get just a sneak the objective from the enemy team. Typically nothing too game-breaking happens in the early game. So it is a map where if you set up your waves properly and you set up your camps and your rotations properly, you should be able to edge out the opponent fairly quickly. They kind of just get... It is a bunch of little small incremental advantages on this map where it kind of just snowballs, and the objective on this map is quite strong, and we do see the Anubarak being banned away because he is one of the few who can solo sneak the objective from the enemy team by spawning the beetles and tanking them. Greymane from Ultralisk was very, very powerful last game, so I wouldn't be surprised to see Granite Gaming, if Chili Mountain doesn't pick that early on, even look to possibly ban that on the second rotation bans, because Ultralisk was really, really on point with the Greymane last game, and this is another map where Greymane can really excel with split pushing and with the taking of the null camps.
Speaking of split pushing, I'd love to see priority under globals as well. I think Dahaka has a lot of wonderful brushstock opportunities with the bushes available around the objective phases. Falstad with his gust as well as boss control is really good. Wind tunnel, or as Grubby likes to call, which I've started to adapt myself, the ranged mosh pit is always a useful tool. But we are going to kick things off immediately with another Joanna here, Grubby.
Yeah, and I guess the question is, especially now that we've seen a victory for Chili Mountain against it, will Granite Gaming pretty much choose their heroes based on just generally putting together some of the top heroes, some of the top win rates, some of the strongest proven heroes? Or do they also have like fleshed out strategies that really funnel into a singular purpose? Because Greymane and Anubarak are a popular pairing, and to be fair, so are Johanna and Cassia, but like, are you just picking strong stuff? It still would make sense. I cannot fault Johanna. That was just a single pick. And now we're starting to see a little bit of that special sauce coming out. Double global there in the Brightwing Falstad. The Haka is still up. I would imagine one of the teams to ban it out. And actually, let's say if he doesn't, there's a few options for Granite. They can close this off with a Dahaka, which will be their off lane, and then they've got that special sauce of triple global. Or they can finish up with the Stitches, have Johanna be off lane, and then take any miscellaneous hero last. So I think Granite Gaming's got good options. Chili Mountain is going to be removing Leoric.
I do like the option for the Stitches, because you could go Hook, Gorge, Gust away the enemy, polymorph the unit that was gorged, and then burst them down. Justin, we haven't heard from you in a little bit. I want to get your thoughts on the Alterac Pass draft that's unfolding in front of us.
So something that is going to be important to see is what the teams look to pick to specifically take down the null camp. You need to be able to do it relatively quickly on this map, and not all the heroes do that equally. We see the Ultralisks Maiev being banned away, which has just been a comfort for him, and she can take the Naisha's momentum at level 1, which is very good at taking the camp, so that's a good ban for dual purpose. 1, to ban out Ultralisk of his special stuff, and 2 for that, because they do need a way to take it. They do have Rhaegar with the Lightning Shield, which is pretty good, and Rhaegar does pair quite well with Greymane, the Dog Brothers, so we'll see. Instead, they do look to go the Tychus Diablo, which... So this game, Chili Mountain should have a much stronger team fight, which is a bit scary for Granit, because last game, their team fight shouldn't have been too great, but they were making it work still. They were still winning team fights overall, by even with a, what I would say was a less powerful team fight in a 5v5, they were able to get kind of picks within the team fight to start the fight off. And yeah, getting the Tychus Diablo, it's a really strong combination. You deny the Tychus from the enemies on Granite Gaming, so they don't have that option. We do see the Chen being picked up, so no Dahaka, no triple global. Going with the Chen, so that might be a bit tough to pull off. They will have the Rhaegar with the baby cleanse, but I'm not sure if that is actually going to last long enough to cleanse someone who's getting kegged.
Yeah, it's an interesting draft. Yeah, please.
Like he gets the evade against Tychus, which makes him a little bit safer, but we have very little amount of actual stuns and roots by Granit to keep someone in place, and that makes it a bit hard to take down a Diablo. No classical Diablo killer on the side of Granit Gaming either. It looks a little tough to control just Diablo, and then we haven't even spoken about the rest of the draft. What do you think about the potency of Granit Gaming's skill potential here, Justin?
So yeah, they don't have a ton of lockdown unless they go Bless Shield, which we pretty much never see anymore. They have the Chen barrel, like you mentioned, into what? They kind of have to almost gust the rest away if they want to make it work. It's similar to the Stitches, but it's a lot more difficult. It's like the Monka Cecil Steer Stitches, kind of with the barrel. You're trying your best to do the same thing, but it's significantly harder to pull off than just a Stitches Gorge combo would be. And yeah, Chili Mountain, considering that they were able to control the macro and win teamfights with a debatably worse macro and teamfight comp last game, things are looking pretty good here for Chili Mountain in this game. They have pretty good wave clear with the Rhaegar, with the Tychus, with Lunara, Blaze. They have a very well-rounded comp. The one thing that Granite Gaming comp excels at is playing around the objective with Johanna, being able to get just permanent blinds on the enemy and slowly whittle them down, as well as having the late game boss control. So Granite Gaming is going to have to try to force fights on the boss if they're going to want to make their comp really shine with the barrel and the gust.
Well, thank you for the breakdown as always, Justin, because we are loaded on into Alterac Pass, and we'll see what's going to happen with this barrel on the side of Granite Gaming, as we've got Gia on the Falstad, Svampgrada on the Chen, Carbon to play the Hanzo, Joanna to be played by Red Robot, and Henning on the Brightwing. Over in the red, Chili Mountain, we've got Copen on Blaze, we've got Make playing Lunara, Azurite on the Diablo, Ultralist to play Tychus, and Banana on the Rhaegar. I've actually wrote down a Chili Mountain win here, Grubby. I actually really like the direction they headed into with this draft. I think their 10 potentials are huge. I think the Wombos that could be played here with the Diablo and the Blaze could be extremely strong. There are opportunities to go into like auto attack stuff to chunk into Diablo and Blaze, but we're not seeing that at the start, so I'm liking what Chili Mountain's built out here. I'm liking how they played on Sky Temple, and I want to get your thoughts on what you think about this matchup.
Yeah, I like what Chili Mountain has. I don't see a realistic way for Granite Gaming to take down Diablo reliably and consistently. Maybe sometimes they'll isolate him away, get a polymorph that offers armor and vulnerability at level 16, and have a KW completely isolate Diablo away. But overall, I see a much easier composition to be played for Chili Mountain. They've got a really well fleshed out composition, and to top things off, icing on the keg, no pun intended.
Nice.
Chen apparently is 0-7 this season.
Really? Okay. Oh.
I think that probably makes him the worst win rate for anyone that's been picked over 5 times.
I think, yeah, absolutely. I'm thinking back to it. I'm like, yeah, I can't, like, no one off the top of my head comes to mind. I mean, no one's played Cho'Gall, so we don't have any good stats to report on.
Yeah, Nova is like 0-1. She was picked once, and then people are like everyone that had their finger on the Nova button, they like quietly moved it away. Like, oh yeah, we're gonna shelve our Nova strat. That looked a lot worse than we actually thought it was going to be. But for some reason, people keep drinking the cake copium.
Hey, it's I feel like Chen, he can be really good.
Wrong.
Yeah.
I'm
That's
hoping
exactly
we're
like
wrong.
I think
he can be
Chen's
good.
potential is astronomical. It's just and this can be said about any hero, but it really comes down to the execution, and in my opinion, the execution around his positioning for Keg. You could definitely go into Storm, Earth, and Fire and give yourself the self-cleanse per se, where you stagger a bunch of damage into your health bar, hit Storm, Earth, and Fire, but with Grenade, with Jet Propulsion from Blaze, with just all of the value that Diablo brings to the table, I don't see a world where Storm, Earth, and Fire actually is summoned, and Wandering Keg might be just a defensive tool, but I do have to kind of circle back to that CPX Nova game. Not trying to flame him by any means, actually. My chat loves to make me play Nova all the time, so I've been practicing, and I've been practicing his build with the perfect snipe. It's really good, actually, so long as you land your snipes. But anyways, here's that stagger damage. Here comes a phase shift from Brightwing. It's actually canceled out by Blaze in the top lane. He lands a Jet Propulsion, and Swamp Grata, who needed the phase shift from Brightwing, will go down. Chen, first blood to the side of Chili Mountain.
Yeah, and oh wow, that Brightwing just came in on time. I think 1 frame later, and the grenade actually ends up killing Johanna. But Chen will be first blood here. Chili Mountain gets that kill. He died kind of in a lame way as well. Like, he couldn't get away from Tychus. He needed that heal, but nice interrupt there. All right, everyone back to the Hogger camp. Brightwing is going to start it. That's going to be a little bit slow. Hanzo definitely not a quick clearer. And the voice of Justin echoes in here and saying, everyone can take the null camp, but who can take it relatively fast? That's not Granit Gaming here right here.
Granit Gaming trying to find the kill into Make in top, and Make is going to Hearth back for full. Going to get some mana as well. Did get a little healing from the Rhaegar. Rhaegar going into a pretty standard build as we've been seeing on CCL. The Grounded Totem at level 1 and Earth Living Enchantment at level 4, and it's going to be Colossal Totem at 7. I'm curious, maybe, I don't know if you know, oh, hold on, I'm going to hold my thought because maybe there's a fight. No. I'm curious why we see no value or no pick onto Purification. It's just, it feels like it should be such a strong talent for the cooldown reduction on a 45-second cleanse.
Yeah.
So I don't.
So
it's interesting to me.
The Colossal Totem doesn't just make it harder to kill, giving it like 1,000 life or something. How much life does the totem have? I believe it's.
You increase it by 50%, and right now the totem health is 429 scaling.
So it's 644 right now, thanks to that talent, 50% extra health, bigger area, longer duration by 50%. And not just that, but you can move it once, which means essentially you're probably gonna double its effective duration time, as opposed to not having it. So Totem probably gets twice as good, alongside with almost every other of the benefits it offers. And yeah, that's pretty cool. Whereas that cleanse, the CDR on it, super, super valuable. But again, pros usually often pick for the effectiveness of something in the first 5 seconds of a battle, maybe 10, and not really for something 30 seconds later.
That's fair.
And those CDRs are good. Never will we argue against Falling Sword CDR either, but sometimes all it takes is like 5 good seconds to end up winning the game. And yeah, maybe that's why.
And then there is also, later on, you can get Wellspring, and I know that the Earthgrass Totem is only on the first cast. If you do a recast of the Earthgrass Totem, it doesn't give you the damage or the 80% slower, 90% slower, I believe it is. But you do make a very good point there. And maybe it's just me. Like, I get so excited about Purification because it's like it's got the slows, it's got all this cool stuff. But you do make a very good point because that first 5 to 10 seconds of a fight is just so critical as to who can really be dynamic and hold over the enemy side. And speaking of holding something over the enemy team, we do have 10s for the time being on the side of Chili Mountain, and it's going to be a Lightning Breath Diablo.
Yeah, Lightning Breath, cool. A little bit of a self-cleanse that prevents him from getting caked away. Basically, the only weakness that Diablo still had in this game is, what if he gets caked?
Sorry, I'm sorry to cut you off.
Oh!
Look at Rhaegar's 10.
Cool, Bloodlust, awesome.
Yes!
Let's talk about it in a sec. But just preventing cake for Diablo is the only weakness that he had that he has now covered. Secondly, Apocalypse, a little bit hard to hit on people that are getting Falling Sworded. So maybe it's those two things. But man, Bloodlust coming out finally, the first time in the new Rhaegar when he's been so popular. We see that coming out. So who's gonna Who is that going to be most effective on? I suppose Odin.
Odin, Lunara as well, because she'll get bloodlusted and then she can leaping strike and start dumping in damage in the backline with the ability of that choking pollen level 7. And you get that, you get one leaping strike, you get the noxious blossom, which applies the extra stacks from the blossom swell, and then you just burst them down. But here comes the Wandering Keg. Azurite, he's gonna get cleansed by Banana. Hanzo rips a massive arrow. Joanna pulls in everybody so beautifully. Falling Sword comes through. Make is able to leaping strike away. Hanzo gets the scatter arrow on the bottom of our screen. Azurite trying to live, gets a shadow charge, tries to fire stomp, but souls reset. A double kill goes over to the side of Granite Gaming, and momentum, in my opinion, has shifted. But let's take stock of what's happening in bottom lane. Blaze may have not come to the fight, but Blaze got 50% of a fort.
Yeah, that's really good damage, and maybe even worth losing 1 or 2 members, as that is permanent and kills aren't necessarily. But I think it's really the taking of the objective, which Granite Gaming rightfully so rushed, that has the potential to unchain the rest of this game a lot more. Granite Gaming doing a great job. 5.6 seconds left. They're going to try to interrupt. Banana H getting the channel.
Nice.
That's an interrupt. Blood loss. Chen.
Wandering Keg to get Chen into a better position and also push people around. There's going to be Lightning Breath out from the Diablo, zoning back a lot of enemy heroes. Falling Sword will come through from the John to make sure that Swamp Crowd is able to back away, but the slow from the Totem sets up the kill, and Chen will kill Chen as Red Robot's going to get punished for trying to slow down the side of Chili Mountain. And Ultralisk, he's going to start sieging. He doesn't need to be there for the objective. Odin is a better siege tool than a objective tool here. Love the way that Chili Mountain pulled the trigger on that engagement, and they layered their slows, CCs, and control.
That was really, really close there. And yeah, they took it back big time, Bahamut. 5.6 seconds left. Rhaegar got the full channel. Banana H preventing that prison camp. And now the turnaround. This started with a double kill for Granite. And they should have gotten that objective. But the Keg just fell short of the mark. That was kind of a perfect example of it. He tried to kick Rhaegar. Rhaegar just a bit too fast and was squeezed out to the top of the cliff he was being pushed against, instead of the bottom, which would have isolated him in a solo manner. So, perfect example of Cake not being reliable in every single situation. And Chili Mountain, they get a lot out of this. They get the objective after they got half of bottom 4. Diablo's back up to 40 souls. Now they're going to try to push with that objective, get some extra structural damage done. Of course, everyone's in the middle. Middle is most important for controlling the map and the future next objectives.
You could make an argument, absolutely, that boss is in bottom and top, but boss takes a long time to take, and those null camps are very, very short cooldowns at 1 minute and 30 seconds, one of the lower or lowest cooldowns for a camp naturally. So it is imperative to constantly get that camp. If you are playing Alterac Pass and you're not getting those camps, make it something that you do in your regular games, because it's just such a critical tool. Much like on Hanamura with the Sentinel Camp or the giant Genji robot that most people get for the top and bottom lane, respectively, on your side. But here comes an arrow from Hanzo. A cleanse was out from Banana. Bunker comes down from the Blaze. Azurite looking to position, maybe to go for a Lightning Breath. Swamp Grotto is pushing people around with that keg. There's a gust out from Falstad, kind of saving Chili Mountain in a sense here, Grubby.
Yeah, weird to gust and then re-engage. Really feels like Granite Gaming is not on the same page here. I get the gust. I also get not gusting. But after the gust, I don't get the re-engage. You don't gust someone and then try to chase after them. Nobody died from either side. Yeah. But I feel like Chili Mountain did that fight a little bit better.
Chili Mountain still holding on to 1 heroic, I believe. Yeah, actually, no, it's 2 stacks for Make right now. It's not the longest cooldown for those leaping strikes, 20 per charge. But here comes the boss call, and I'm going to quickly just jump onto Vision really quickly and see what these teams are seeing. So right now, Chili Mountain, they can't see anyone on the opposing side, but that camp does pop up. Actually, Joanna and Chen are showing in bottom lane, Brightwing showing in top. So this is easily a double boss play for the side of Chili Mountain if they want to go for that. And I feel like you just should. you grab your camp on the right hand side, you rotate down towards boss, and then when you see the enemy team, like we are right now on the minimap, most of them clearing and Chen showing in bottom, cool, that's another boss, and you'll have 16s in tow with that.
Yeah, exactly. And the boss is still about 70% health. I'm not sure about the timing though. I don't think boss 100% works out. I think maybe it's better to take down mid fort.
Okay, that's fair. That's absolutely fair, and I'm seeing it as well. It's just I was like, oh, they got a little bit of a talent tier advantage. Maybe they could try and just flex a little bit because my momentum for Chili Mountain. I feel like they need to keep this. They need to just keep applying pressure as Chen gets a nice. Maybe it wasn't that nice. There is the Earthgrass Totem coming down as well. Hanzo gets an arrow out onto Rhaegar. Joanna gets a condemn. Chen comes in. Rhaegar with the Bloodlust as he is getting just pushed around. Banana so hard split from his team. That was a pretty good gust to slow down anyone from Chili Mountain from helping out Rhaegar. He does go down. A nice pick set up by a Chen. Waiting in a bush, and it looked like Chen was the one in trouble, but call an ambulance, but not for Chen.
Yeah, exactly. I think he handled that really well. Samkrota knew that he even positioned quite smartly to prevent Shadow Charge stun into walls, so that Diablo was forced to just flip him over the shoulder without the benefit of a stun. And then he had the evasion, the, what's it called? The elusive brawler at level 7 to take 0 damage from Tychus. And then he found the way to re-engage, jump, cake, and basically did the Stitches Scourge abduct on Rhaegar. Now they're going to try to get Diablo. Diablo's got the bunker, he's got about half life. Can he make it back to safety? Looks like no! Cake comes in, pushes him in the corner. Cake is taking a lot of damage though from the towers. Yeah. Diablo gets away with 750 health.
He's full souls too. If he died there, that would have been a reset on souls, which I know it's a 3-4 second death timer, 5 seconds, excuse me. But still, you're resetting souls, and Diablo. I mean, he's literally his level 1 is so valuable when you're at full souls because of that soul shield. Either way, it's a Firestomp build from the Diablo. Make does get a camp on the right-hand side of our map. On the left-hand side, we have the members of Granit getting their camp. Right wing is going to be... Right wing will be split pushing in the top lane, or at least split clearing. Does have phase shift off a cooldown. One boss is available in bottom, as we have a Wisp going into a bush to just scout things out. And Tychus clearing things as well. It's a tense one here, Grubby, between both these teams, as Granite Gaming are showing signs of life, but Chili Mountain, as I keep saying, they're the ones who have the momentum per se, and they're making a lot of really good engagements.
Nice bit of damage coming in here on Azerite. I'm not sure about half of the arrows from Carbon. He tries to kind of kill the front line, but it seems like it actually works out. Azerite drops low, he dies, but at what cost? He comes back. There is a falling sword to try and keep the backline alive. Lunara Make getting the double kill there.
Yep. Diablo goes down, but that's a double kill so far. The Bloodlust actually came out a little bit late, but Carbon will fall. It's a triple kill. 1 for 3, and there's still a camp in mid lane pushing for Chili Mountain. Diablo's back in the mix. As I said, he did lose those souls, but he's already back to 11, so things are looking okay on the side of Chili Mountain as they're looking to get another army, another Horde army. Generals? I believe they're generals. Summoned from the Drekthar side of the map. And Stormpike Vandar's structures, he's only got 3 keeps. And that's okay for now, but losing 2 is where things start to get a little sketchy on the side of Granite Gaming. As, man, I just realized Chili Mountain hasn't lost a single fort, and have any of the forts even taken damage?
No, they haven't. No. It's just one set of towers. So far it's looking real good for Chili Mountain. Swamp Grota kind of does this private abduction of Blaze, but then he gets 1v5.
Yeah, like I was like Blaze had bunker the entire time, and I was just like, I feel like it was maybe it was trying to force the bunker out from Blaze, but Blaze was, well, he wasn't Giga fine. He's not Lobber, but he was definitely fine in that moment. He wasn't going to be falling as the boss, the objective, and the camp. So much map pressure. Tychus is going to grab just a little bit more wave clear through mid, but that also pushes into 20. Here comes the big red button, and let's also keep in mind, we got the Gladiators War Shout, Grubby. Basically, the range of Bloodlust, for anyone that doesn't know, is our vision of the screen right now. Like, the entire screen is Bloodlust a bit of availability. Like, I feel like you can be in core and hit R and still get Bloodlust on the left-hand side of the map. It's so much range.
Yeah, it's so cool with Odin, that lifesteal, that auto attack. Odin becomes practically unkillable. Yep. Banana H is looking at when to use that. Usually he's been using it as a movement speed buff for allies to get away from Cake. When you're a little faster, you can actually determine which way not to get pushed in by Cake, which is really interesting. Yeah. It's slow heroes, really, that can't choose where they're going to get pushed towards. He keeps using that Bloodlust to save people from Chen. It saves people from Gust as well. Look at him. Oh, that's a good Gust. Diablo completely isolated. He's going to go down, and no souls this time.
Good scatter from Hanzo, but a double fort goes down. The core will lose 50% of his HP, but For anyone that might be new to Alterac Pass, this is a unique map where you're going to see Stormpike Vandar get his little spin to win out, and once he hits that center point, his health bar will jump back up at a exponential rate, healing back to full. It's the only map that does this, but oh my god, Chili Mountain, they're all inning on Decor, or are they trying to pull people off of a boss that they're expected? And it's just, it's a pull.
It's a desperate play here by Granit Gaming going for the boss. They've got 3 people going for it. Wisp actually scouts. Diablo isn't here yet, so it feels wisest for Chili Mountain to just let it go. They could try to take top keep, but it's a big investment to try and take top keep and not try to totally safe. They were thinking, hey, we'll go over here at the Hellbat camp, and either we get the Nulls or we get Brightwing. Brightwing positioned safely, so it's just a little bit of a deny. That Null camp never threatens score, but nice deny, bit of XP steal, and a great way to not try to throw on the boss.
I was looking at the minimap as we were breaking this down and looking at it, and there was just an immediate 180 like around the objective phase here where Chili Mountain made that call to go for the null camp and putting pressure on the map so that way Granite Gaming has to deal with that, clear it out, and as you said, it's not going to end the game, but it does give Granite something to do so Chili Mountain can clear this boss out. Now, Red Robot will be scouted out. Diablo is going to be in that bush. Azure gets a Fire Stomp out, building up a few more souls at 52 right now. With the objective phase coming up right now, Grubby, would you like to jump into some Chili Mountain comms, hear how they're getting along?
Yes, I would.
All right, into Chili Mountain we go.
Yeah. I think we just let mid come in, and then we look for poke on frontline, is carry kick. We want top prio as well, so we have vision everywhere.
I can get it, probably.
Yep. I'm sending vision around, it's gonna be here.
Also showing mid.
Yeah, we just wait for top prio. We move in a bit when we have vision on the map.
I will get the next wave as well, actually.
Bot boss in 1 minute, so if we can just chill it out. We're playing towards, I think, mid side here.
Careful, yeah.
White arrow, they might cake. They're looking for cake.
Look, oh, they missed cake.
No
This is
I'm gonna
good.
bunker this one.
Oh, can we look?
Yeah. I have stun.
Yeah.
Look at you.
Yeah, Joe after maybe. They use Gust and arrow. Are we fine on this? Yeah.
It's still turn.
They're falling.
Henning.
Yeah.
Joe.
Shan. Nice, get the cap. Their cap is up, we don't care. We can get full cap here.
We get cap.
Yeah. And look.
Okay.
Oh, I'm getting smacked. Make sure we're healthy though. I don't think he has falling yet, he didn't get the reset.
Stunning. No D.
With the false shot in the corridor.
There's a globe coming soon, and globe on top wave for those who need it. They're gonna still play here, don't stack for falling. They need to play this, so don't take too much poke, and we just play it slow.
Just poke them.
Yeah. Shan is up in 20 seconds.
They will have to def eventually as well.
Yeah. They will have to def, so we...
Stunning here.
Careful with the gas.
I'm guessing, I'm bunkering.
It's fine. I'm looking for Falstad after. Or maybe Joe. Joe doesn't have...
No.
Wait, hold.
I have Henning.
I'm
We
gonna
can
know.
get the objective and we
Yeah,
are...
it's fine.
Alright, we're chilling.
I have blue last in 2.
Core
Core is dying.
Okay.
I have blue last, they have no guest. We can just go.
We have Odin in 10. Just damage it once. Don't all in. Don't all in. Yeah, don't all in.
Just focus core.
Trying to help. Yeah.
Go core.
Alright, GG's.
And just like that, Grubby, Chili Mountain will be sitting in the advantage spot in this best of 5 series. I'm blown away. I gotta get Justin back in here immediately. I gotta hear from you, Justin, your thoughts on everything that is happening right now for this series, because that was a really great map for Chili Mountain.
Yeah, Chili Mountain seems like they're kind of just bringing it on all fronts. They're winning the team fights, they're getting better picks, they're playing the macro very, very well. Nearly perfect macro, and you could hear in the comms too that Make is he's in charge of the shot calling in general, but everyone's feeding information. It doesn't feel like, although you can tell that Make is like a big driving force in the comms, you can tell that everyone's feeding info, everyone's constantly aware of certain things, they're reminding each other of small things, like to spread out for Falling Sword and to watch out for certain things, and how they want to play the fights, which is really good, especially from your shot caller. You really want to hear that kind of concept-based stuff. Like, well, he is in charge, and it's obvious he's in charge. He's not micromanaging people. He's saying, like, we have 22 seconds on Chen, like, we want to play the fight slowly. We know that they're going to want to fight us, that they have to fight us, so we're going to play with that in mind. So just really smart play coming out from Chili Mountain. They seem really constantly aware of everything, and their comms reflect that. And like I mentioned in the draft, with what Granite Gaming had drafted, they really were playing for boss control with the Keg and with the Gust. They have really good tools for that. And Chili Mountain hyper aware of that, because in the early game, the second they got they got a fight where it kind of fizzled out, nothing really happened. They didn't get any kills, but they knew that Keg and Gust were down, and they immediately went and just took the top boss for free. Well, Granite Gaming retreats and they just go take their null camp. They don't trade anything back, even though they didn't have a numbers advantage. That was purely a cooldown advantage. Knowing that their boss control tools are not available, they immediately go do the top boss. So they're constantly just aware of these small things, these really important things that can win you games over time, like they did. They didn't really take any structure damage in the early game. They were just controlling it from start to finish. Granite Gaming needed to maybe be a little bit more greedy on the objective. They had their moments where they got the two picks early before the first objective, and they got 5.6 seconds left on the objective, the first one, and they kind of just left. No one really, they didn't seem like they were quite on the same page. You had the Chen, who thought about maybe barreling, and I think he definitely could have went into barrel and just kind of spun in circles around the objective and finished it off. They only needed 6 seconds, but he didn't. Instead, they go for the picks, and that doesn't work out for them, and they just get hard punished for it. Whereas on the side of Chili Mountain, they seemed hyper aware of the objective. Every time they got picks, they were always in a position to secure the entire objective, and they're really just min-maxing on the map. They were taking everything when it was available, taking advantage of pretty much everything. The Keg didn't really seem to work out too well for Granite Gaming overall. It had its moments, and they were able to survive it for the most part with Bloodlust and just counter-engage, which I think is kind of interesting. Instead of kind of just trying to save the person who's getting kegged, which was basically Diablo nearly every single time, with the exception of that one where it was Rhaegar, outside of that one moment, it felt like there was really no punish for not having Ancestral. Their counter-engage with the Odin and the Lunara with the Bloodlust was really strong, so even if they get one pick, like we saw in that one fight where they traded 3 for 1 after the fact, the Bloodlust with the counter-engage with the double range just too strong. And Chili Mountain has definitely come out to play in the Gauntlet.
Chili Mountain, they are looking amazing right now in this best of 5 series in our Gauntlet bracket. As a reminder for anyone at home, the Gauntlet bracket is do or die. You lose in your matchup, that is it. That is your CCL season, and that is your placement. So we're going to go to a short little break. In this break, I encourage you to hit ! prize pool. I have been seeing that a lot of you have been starting to push for that 11K, where Grubby will reveal a little bit about his, well, ! Grubby song to find out all about it. But as I said, we're going to take a short little break. When we come back, we're going to find out, will Chili Mountain beat out Granite Gaming, or can Granite Gaming start to rally and shut down Chili Mountain? Don't go anywhere. This is HeroesCCL presented by Wisdom. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to HeroesCCL presented by Wisdom. My name is still Bahamut, still joined by Grubby and Justing, but the thing that is most exciting about all of this is the fact that we are looking at a Chili Mountain advantage in this best of 5 series, and we are in our ladder bracket. Just to remind everyone at home, when you play in this ladder bracket, this is the do or die. This is your last chance for Season 3 to progress into any sort of double elimination finals up against 30K, Wildheart, and Simplicity. A lot is on the line, and we've got a lot of games to go, but this could be the final map between these two teams for Season 3. And let's go ahead and find out where we're going to go to for map number 3. It's going to be another map choice of Chili Mountain, as Granite Gaming has once again opted for first pick priority, and Chili Mountain have chosen to take us to Towers of Doom. Record-wise for both of these teams, Granite Gaming is 0-3. They have 0 wins, 3 losses on Towers of Doom for Season 3 of CCL, whereas Chili Mountain, they played this map once, and they have 1 win on it. One of the few wins that Chili Mountain does have from the group stage season. And as we get into this draft, Justin, want to get your thoughts on what we could see from this map.
So Chili Mountain's looking incredibly strong so far in the series. I'm expecting them not to switch too many things up in the draft unless it's forced by Granite. The Blaze is something that they seem to be relying on quite heavily, and they actually have used the bunker nearly the best, if not the best from any of the teams I've seen so far in the CCL this season. They had the one time where they all just hopped in the bunker and just burned everyone who was trying to get the kills. So it's you don't see that too often where teams are getting full value out of it, like Chili Mountain currently is. I think part of that might be because you have Make, who was playing it in that first game, and Make being kind of the lead kind of shot caller for the team. Everyone's always paying attention to what he's doing, so being able to have him play it and have him get everyone in the bunker is pretty impressive. 30K is the only other team that I've seen this season that's really used it to that effect, so
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised to see a potential either pick on the Blaze to deny it or a ban coming out from Granit Gaming, because that has seemed quite crucial to Chili Mountain's success so far in these two games.
And Grubby, I want to get your thoughts as well on just anything in this series, really, the maps or even what we're about to see.
Yeah, I think with the two bans remaining, Stukov, Rhaegar have to be looked at as some of the big picks here in terms of the healer. I think Brightwing is a little bit less important on this map. Even though it's big and the lanes are deep, it's better to have someone that constantly dominates 4-on-4s than really to lean into that global. And while Brightwing can help up top in a one-on-one, it doesn't seem as important as bottom lane is most important. So will Stukov be allowed to get through? It's either Stukov or Johanna at this point. And Brightwing is the one that's going to get banned out by Chili Mountain. They seem to disagree with my theory regarding that. We do see that deny on the Blaze that has been so effective. So Granit Gaming is switching it up. If they have been drafting alongside the strategy of game number 1 and 2, it will be Johanna pick in first slot again.
Granit Gaming is going to be flipping a page in their playbook, and they're going to try and find some sort of rally on this map. The Blaze has been really, really strong in the past few games, so I'm excited to see how Granit Gaming will be able to implement this, and will they be able to kind of match what Justin was saying, some of the best bunker plays from this season. But that's a nice Stukov Joanna. That's a really solid 1-2, Justin, because it doesn't really show your direction in draft at all.
Yeah, picking up your support and your tank here what could be an offlane flex as well, and the Johanna, super strong. Johanna, up until this match, has felt nearly undefeated. The Simplicity match showed that Johanna can lose in their match against 30K, but aside from that, Johanna has felt just ridiculously strong. So for Granit Gaming to be in a position where they give up the Johanna and the Stukov in favor of the Blaze, it's really just, on paper, not where you want to be draft-wise. This is the first game where, in the early picks in the draft, it feels like Chili Mountain has an advantage just out the gates. Granit Gaming has had better teamfight comps in the last 2 games, and they've just been losing fights regardless, so I'm kind of worried for Granit Gaming going forward in the rest of the draft. We have Hennings Anduin being banned away. I think part of the reason they did take the Blaze first pick outside of the deny is we have seen that Granit Gaming doesn't really have a lot of favor on the Stukov, as most teams do. So it's really smart what Chili Mountain did when they saw the Rhaegar ban to just force a support choke. They know that they'll likely get the Stukov on their second pick. Getting Stukov Johanna in exchange for Blaze Sylvanas Diablo, that just feels really bad for Granit Gaming. So they're going to need something pretty spectacular, I'd say, to be able to bring this draft back, because Chili Mountain has infinite possibilities right now, and Ultralisk Maiev is still available, which it hasn't been up until now.
Could see that Maiev. A Leoric. I was wondering about the Anduin ban. I was like, I wonder if they're going to go into Leoric and maybe do some sort of like Entomb Wombo sort of deal where you can actually get you have a DIY sort of buried alive at level 10 with Lurking Arm plus the Entomb and a nice gust, so you can gust Entomb. Things are looking really cool here for the side of Chili Mountain, but I got to get your thoughts as well, Grubby, as to what's happening for the draft.
Yeah, so when Granit picked their second and third, Sylv and Diablo, it was super obvious that they would have to ban Tychus next. It just feels like a really early broadcast of going Diablo in a way that we usually don't see. They're now going to try and run a really complex composition, maybe even with D-Storm.
Yeah.
It might be D-Storm, it might be D-Shield, just so Zeratul don't need to blink back as quickly, but this might be a Void Prison Apocalypse comp, or it could just be, let's try to kill Leoric over and over with Zeratul, who can do that really, really well. It's a hard composition to play by Granit. They showed Diablo early. They were forced to do the logical thing to ban Tychus next, which left Chili Mountain 3 counter picks into the composition. They're going to get their comfort Maiev, Leoric to kill Diablo, and Falstad just generally an all-out badass. Overall, I think both comps are good and they have limitless potential, but Granit's is significantly more difficult to play.
And I think Maev right now is licking her lips because you have Blaze, Diablo, Zeratul, Uther. All 4 of these heroes want to be in melee range and clump up around a singular target. Maev, Umbra binds, and she's also got the Fan of Knife resets as well. Things look really good for Chili Mountain in my opinion, but I need to get Justin's opinion on this Towers of Doom draft.
Yeah, both drafts coming out to look pretty good in the end. I'm pretty impressed with what Granit chose to go with their last 2 picks, taking the Zeratul Uther. I think that those are kind of weird picks right now. They're not super standard, but it does complement the Diablo quite well. They have really big wombo combo potential with the Void Prison into likely APOC, into Blaze Stun, and whatever ultimate Sylvanas chooses to go with is good follow-up. They either have the Silence Arrow for even more wombo, and they could even opt into the D-Storm for more, so Granit Gaming does have a good 5v5 teamfight comp, but that's kind of been the theme of the series so far, is that they've had these good 5v5 comps, but they haven't been able to pull it off against Chili Mountain. And Chili Mountain across the board just got a lot of S-tier picks. They have the Stukov Johanna, which banning the Anduin away was really smart. They don't have a good answer for the Entomb. At level 20, things are going to get pretty difficult. There is a very small amount of lockdown for the Zeratul, though. So Zeratul, Carbon on that Zeratul is going to be... He's going to need to step up this game and be the carry for Granit Gaming if they want to stay in this series. And Chili Mountain's going to have to constantly be aware of those VPs and be kind of worried about that. But they do have the tools to deal with the Diablo. They have Leoric, Maev, which both have % damage, which is really good into the Diablo. Both comps looking pretty strong, but Chili Mountain just looks like the better team right now. So we'll see if Zeratul can carry this one or not.
Well, thank you, Justin, for your breakdown and your thoughts as well as we're getting into Towers of Doom. Map number 3 in our first best of 5 of the day. We do have one more best of 5 after this. The winner of this best of 5 will go up against Storm Esports. And right now on the left-hand side, we got Granit Gaming vying in this best of 5 to take us to a map number 4. Swamp Grot on the Blaze, Red Robot on the Diablo, Gita plays Zeratul, Henning on the Uther, and Carbon on the Sylvanas. Over in the red, we got Chili Mountain. We've got Copen on the Leoric, Banana on the Stukov, Maki on the Falstead, Ultralisk on Maev, and Azurite to play the Joanna. And this Chili Mountain crew, they're looking for that quick 3-0 so they can move on up against Storm Esports. And I was going to get Grubby's thoughts here and give my own, but oh my god, Azurite gets all in immediately, pops the Iron Skin, and it looks like Azurite is fine to back away. I'm going to go ahead and call for a Chili Mountain win. I think they've got the momentum. I think they've got the tools and the skills to be able to do so. And as we have another all-in once again onto Ultras, who gets the Vault of the Warden at the last second. What are your thoughts here, Grubby, on the best meal to start the day?
Creme brulee, apparently.
Really?
In Cobra Kai, I'm like, wow, creme brulee for breakfast. Damn.
Oh, that's a lot.
Yeah, that's interesting. No, best meal to start the day. Honestly, I think the best meal to start the day is not to have a meal. I always feel most productive when I don't. Like I get like higher energy, higher APM. It's just I never want to do it. I love eating when I wake up, but I get the most done when I don't. So, best meal is not breaking the fasting.
Ah, okay, all right. Well, let's reel it into Towers of Doom here, and I do want to get your thoughts. We did already see a Diablo getting killed, and we might see another kill in this bottom lane onto Uther. Yes, he will fall. Diablo just not coming back, but I do want to get in all seriousness. I do want to get your thoughts on these drafts because I'm sure you have some itching comments for both sides.
Yeah, I think the usual rule, like unless we're looking at top 2 teams, and who knows, they might be. You know, one of these may actually make it to top 2. Usually I find Zeratul comps very risky. It's kind of a bias I have, and I'm trying not to lean too heavily into it. So again, sure. I do think both teams have the complete potential to win the game. And we saw a few cool combos that nearly got a kill on Ultralisk Maev and Azurite's Johanna. Both have a cleanse button, but it didn't work out quickly enough most of the time. Because of the great chain of stuns that Granit Gaming was able to inflict upon them. And they got away with about 10% life. Damage scales up more as the game goes on, so those would have been kills in about 10 levels or so. So I do think Granit Gaming has some nice coordination. It's not all about their ult wombo combo, if that's what they're going to be leaning into. So let's see how it goes. Let's let the teams do the speaking for us in terms of their executions and actions.
The executions have been pretty good so far in favor for Chili Mountain as we have our first objective phase. Now this objective phase is fairly standard. What isn't standard is a massive rotation into mid lane onto the solo laner who just thought he was going to be able to get a little bit of more soak, and that is Blaze going down. So the objective phase here, standard top, left, and right. The only RNG per se, or the only randomness, is the bottom or mid area, and we're going to be seeing a spawn on the bottom of the map. and then after that we start to get into some randomized locations and amount of altars that spawn. But here we have Stukov on the bottom, Zeratul on the left-hand side, and Falstad on the right. So we're going to be seeing 8 shots into the core of Granite Gaming, 4 shots into the side of Chili Mountain. Ha ha ha, some simple caster math there, Grubby.
Nice. Aced it. Impressive. I'll leave it to you from now on, the numbers.
Miss Pyatt, my 4th grade teacher, would be very proud of me right now. I'm just saying.
And now a fight over the top Sapper camp. We've got a 3v2 in favor of Granite Gaming. They're looking to deal some damage on Leoric, but Gia's dropping real low. And there comes the Stukov combo. That takes him down, prevents any Uther heals that may have been available as well. In comes Johanna as well. Red Robot is looking for an angle. He wants to go for Falstad or something, but he knows that there wouldn't be any kind of follow-up. But he actually gets a really nifty kill on Leoric, whom he estimated had already used Wraithwall. Good job, Red Robot.
But look at this Leoric health bar death timer right now. It's actually nearing the health bar of the Blaze, or the death timer, as Copen. I try and shout out Copen and his skills of being able to immediately get the Spectral Leech and his goes for him to cheat death, and then he misses the second one. But still, that was actually not that bad of a death. I mean, it's 1 to 5 in kills, and when we take stock of the experience, that is 648 experience to the side of Granite Gaming, 2,166 when it comes to just heroic kills, and we're starting to see a gap, an experience gap formed in favor for Chili Mountain, as our next altar phase will be in the top portion of the map, left and right. You and I, Grubby, have talked about this quite a bit. These are expected to be traded unless Chili Mountain finds a couple kills right before the spawn of the objective.
They should love to. Have it. Both teams would love to have it. Granite needs that for the comeback. Red Robot is being piled on with damage here. He's still alive though. He had that soul shield or that armor as well. In fact, from the soul shield. Or Uther, in fact. But he does go down. So Chili Mountain gets another kill here. 6 kills to 1, and they managed to steal the Sapper camp. So fantastic job here by Chili Mountain, getting kill after kill and leading up with a really nice experience advantage. They will be trading altars 1 for 1, but now Chili Mountain can make a play for the bottom fort as they have so many more heroes alive there.
10 talent tiers just around the corner for Chili Mountain, and I want to take stock of something else right now. It's just some of the questing talents. We've got Zeratul going into the very mechanically savvy build with the wormhole blink ability all around. He needs 1 more regeneration globe for that. 65 souls on the Diablo, 37 stacks for the Uther on his level 1, but I'm going to hold that thought because a containment disc does connect onto Uther. That wave of light at 37 out of 60. Falstad gusts into the entomb. Uther's bouncing around from the Umbral Bind, and this is exactly what I was thinking was going to happen in these team fights. Everyone tries to pile onto a target or pile into fight, and Carbon's trying to auto attack from range, but it's Maiev controlling and getting Fan and Ive resets. This bottom lane of Bell Tower will go down in favor for the side of Chili Mountain, and it's a good massive shove. But it's a lot of really cool control in the fight, because we're not even seeing Falling Sword. We're seeing Blessed Shield. So you have, and also Containment Disc. So like Containment Disc, and then gust away the rest of the team, drop Containment Disc, kill the target. And same thing with Entomb. Really cool, really cool tech, talents, and play from Chili Mountain. I have to just give them credit where it's due in this third map thus far in our first best of 5 of the day.
Yeah, all the frisbee talents coming out from Chili Mountain here. And they've got a 1.5 level lead earlier than we see it in almost any game in the CCL. This is a massive advantage so early on in the game. Granite Gaming, they can't be in a good mental spot right now. 0-2 against the lowest ranked team. They're not far from it themselves, but they beat them in the regular season. But now they are so behind. They know everything is going to come down to this game. We can see it's not a wombo combo comp here with D-Storm and Void Prison. I think that's probably wise, but it's still going to be really tough to make Zeratul work here in this game. What can Gia do? He just finished his Blink level 1 talent. He's got the quest so he can have lots of blinks. Let's see what it's going to be worth.
Right now, Gia's kind of forced out of the fight. The objective phase, did it already? It spawned and immediately already got capped. There's the containment disc. Gust out from Falstad. Bunker does come down from Blaze as well. Red Robot getting pulled around by the Umbral Bind. Fan and Knives coming out from the Maiev, as well as Red Robot gets back into the bunker for safety. Sapper Camp being walked in through bottom lane, or at least they're attempting to walk it in through bottom lane. this might be a good, the Entomb will flub. We do have Umbral Bind pulling in a few enemies of Granite Gaming. Gia very low, Massive Shove will not connect. Copen wants to chase in, there's the Apocalypse, and he does get a little bit of value. Gia's able to blink away, Red Robot so very low. A couple of the Chili Mountain members are falling low as well. Azure gets pushed into the death zone. Carbon goes in deep and gets the kill onto Falstad, but it's Stukov to find the counter kill as another containment disconnects, this time onto the Uther, heading so very low, trying to back away. Huge slows, double kill, souls reset, Gia trying to back away, massive shove, shield glare, Uther's got some ghost heals, but there is a sapper over the wall. What?
There was not enough healing to go around for Gia here. I mean, he's been low the whole fight, a lot of damage piles on top of him. He's got full mana, which kind of tells you how much more he could have done if there had been sources of constant healing. But it's very bursty to have Uther here, and there's a good bit of damage coming in on everyone of Granite Gaming. If you watch any fight, about a few seconds in, you can start every member of Granite Gaming looking to find refuge, basically. Just hoping that not another damage source is coming in on them, as everyone is getting too much hurt by Maiev, by Falstad. Even heroes like Leoric and Johanna are adding the damage. There's a heavy don't group up mechanic from the side of Chili Mountain. That says, like, if Granite groups up, they're going to get dumpstered. Maiev gets that CDR, Stukov's silence is going to affect everybody, and that's why Johanna is a great pick here, perhaps more so than in the previous two games, where Johanna was just picked because she's just good. She gets good numbers. She has a high win rate. Here, there's actually a major reason to bring people together with that Condemn, because that's going to be enabling Maiev and Stukov.
Oh yeah, and then you have also the Blessed Shield as well. I feel like we got the upgrade. I think we've talked about this on the stream before. We got the upgrade to Falling Sword with the Unstoppable, all that factor. You have the level 20 woohoo Heaven's Fury, but like I think Blessed Shield in just itself is such a strong talent, and I think they're utilizing it very well for the side of Chili Mountain, and I'm glad they're not just going, oh, Falling Sword because it's Diablo and Uther and all this and that. It's like, no, like, we can play this aggressive with the Blessed Shield, but right now we're going to get a slight pause. We're going to find out what's happening to a player. It looks like one player might have had a small disconnection, but that's okay, because right now we can break down further what's happening. I lied, absolutely. I immediately lied, because then immediately an R comes out. Yeah, no break. We get back into the game once we get the countdown in, but it's exciting stuff, Grubby, and let's talk about what's the comeback road for the side of Granite? Because I think I've been focusing heavily on Chili Mountain. Let's talk about Granite here. How can they come back on Towers of Doom?
Yeah, that's a good question. And, this is the map for it, to be sure. We look at how much is their composition actually mechanically able to make comebacks. Are they purely damage-based? Then you usually have some bad luck. If your heroes are Nazebo and Zigara, it's like, well, you just have damage. There isn't really a mechanic going here where you can CC someone and they don't have any play. So what have they got? Well, they have a big silence from Sylvanas. They've got that AoE stun from Diablo, then the stun from Uther. So the pick-off potential is there if they can get a jump on somebody. It's not pure damage-based. Zeratul is, though. As hard of a time as he's had, it's only going to get harder for him, because he's going to miss that crucial ability to take someone down. And you can see really only Johanna and Leoric are being offered here as sacrificial limbs. Everyone else is staying way back. Fantastic positioning, to be sure, for Chili Mountain. There's no way that, like, even a Leoric kill is going to be like that big of a deal for Chili Mountain. He's going to come back early. Ultralisk is going to try to get the trigger. Gia lands the Singularity Spike. I'm actually curious how that works with Containment Disc. Can he still use that to teleport on top? But, well, anyway, it doesn't matter. He's got Wormhole. The fight goes on. Gia gets pursued relentlessly. He manages to blink away just in time, Bahamut.
There's a channel out from the Stukov on the bottom of our screen as the bunker does come down from Swamp Grotto, but the range on those flames is not going to be enough. Gia does come in, tries to burst down Azerite, and will be able to do so. Banana gets some healing out, and because Banana was summoning the shots, that kill does happen. But still, Chili Mountain, they scoff at the death of Johanna and find a kill into Blaze, consistently trading out. And I think that's the biggest value for Chili Mountain here in these engagements is, yeah, they may lose one, but they're still trading in some sense. And that trade initially, Diablo for Leoric, that's a pretty good trade for the Leoric, because he can just cheat death and get back onto the battleground as Ultralisk goes in for a huge Umber Bind, tries to pull Gia around, and that hammering coming out. But here comes the Apocalypse from the Diablo. He's going to be trying to set something up for the rest of his team, and they will be able to do so into the Stukov. Not enough well, Stukov just couldn't get away. No flailing swipes as he did go into the singular massive shove. And I apparently caster cursed the heck out of Chili Mountain as I said, oh, they're getting trades every single time. Well, not that time. Granite Gaming come out on top, and they do have the top lane bell tower in their favor, but looks like we have the Falstad Joanna clearing that out.
You use potent black magic, oh caster friend. Let me try a little bit as well. There's no way that Granite Gaming can come back now and make this a 2-2.
There's absolutely no way, totally, yes.
We'll just kind of put that out there, throw it in the soup, and see what concoction will be there left when the soup is done boiling, this witch's soup. But yeah, for now, Chili Mountain is looking good still.
Red Robot gets the Shadow Charge out of the Entomb. Joanna pops the Iron Skin, and I think we have a disengage. I'm waiting to see. Zeratul goes in for a little bit of poke, and it's not going to be enough. Just quickly, just remind me never get stupid at Grubby's house, because apparently he just throws things in a pot and just goes for whatever comes out of it. But, sorry. Fight will continue. Oh, no, that one I'm very interested in. But a Wailing Arrow from Sylvanas will connect onto the backline. Make is forced to use the Gust. And I think that was just a smart defensive Gust. Like, there wasn't anyone really being threatened to die. It was just Granite Gaming were starting to really pressure into the face of Chili Mountain with the advancement they're making into this fort bottom lane.
Yeah, and you know, Zeratul has reached level 16. It looks a little better than that mid fight. How many tools are there left for Granite Gaming to really commit to this fight? They don't want to give any more shots. GR goes in. He gets a lot of damage on Falstad. Is he going to blink back on top of him with Vorpal? No, he's just going to wait for his next cooldown. Diablo isolated away with Containment Disc. Zeratul on the flank, dealing damage into Johanna. Perhaps not the main target. And Uther goes down without using D-Shield.
Low blow. Took a lot of damage right there. I also do want to point out the really cool talent that Banana did pick up, which is going to be that Universal Carrier to constantly spread the healing pathogen around as Red Robot will go down. No souls to reset. He was at 95. That's 2 full death timers between Uther and Diablo. And now let's do some simple caster math, Grubby. What's one bell tower plus boss?
Bell boss.
Oh, okay.
8 core damage into 6 minus 2. Oh yes, I got it.
And it looks like, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be. Oh wait, hold on. I'm not gonna. That's Gia. Gia's going for it, but he's going to die to low blow. Low blow. Well, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. The shots rain in favor for Chili Mountain. They are going to knock Granite Gaming out of HeroesCCL Season 3. Granite Gaming will be taking 8th place. Now, the excitement continues, though, Grubby, because we're not done with series. We still have Chili Mountain up against Storm, but we'll talk about that in a little bit because we got to get our amazing analysts back onto the broadcast to break down how things went so well for Chili Mountain, or even, dare I say, how things fell apart for Granite Gaming, Justin.
Yeah, Granite Gaming didn't do quite what I expected they would with their draft. I was a little disappointed to see that it was the auto attack build, Zeratul, sort of the cure build, the 1v9 build. And that might be mostly just due to maybe a bit of desperation, frustration, whatever it is, down 0-2 in the series. This could be your final game, so everyone's going to be doing their absolute best to try to carry it. We saw that with Carbon blinking in and trading on the Falstad. It felt like that was one of their only real winning moments for Granite Gaming. They had a brief moment where they almost got a comeback into the game with the triple shot phase, where they started getting some kills, they started getting some picks. Chili Mountain began staggering just a little bit, but even though they were winning the fight, Chili Mountain still managed to secure 2 of their own bell towers. Although they were worth 3 each because they'd lost their top fort, they still, even regardless of losing the fight, come out on the objective, and that seemed to be kind of the story of the whole series, was no matter how fights went, Chili Mountain was just always ahead on the map. They always were just thinking of the objective. That was always their main focus, not the fights. And yeah, not going VP and Red Robot going auto attack build is a little weird for me. I think it was sort of that desperation of feeling like I need to carry the game for Red Robot as well. We don't see the auto attack build from Diablo very often anymore, especially not into Johanna, so pretty brave to take that, and unfortunately not paying off for them in this final game, but pretty much just Chili Mountain control from start to finish for the most part, though. They completely dominated the second half of that game. It was pretty even in the early game outside of the kills. It was 28-28, and then from there it was just 23-0. So just a lot of control coming out from Chili Mountain. And Storm Esports might be a little bit worried seeing Chili Mountain coming out a little bit stronger than they may have expected. I think they, like all of us, probably expected the series to be a little bit closer than it was. Not so one-sided, a 3-0 from Chili Mountain. Pretty unexpected, but they definitely deserved it, and they're looking real strong and real warmed up going into their next series. They're looking like they really took the break well and have made a lot of improvements.
Well, we can actually ask them about these improvements because we have Make on the line with us, and he'll be able to break down a few things. Maybe not too many because we don't want to keep him too long as he does have another matchup. But Make, can you hear us?
Yes, I can. Hello, guys.
Hello, Make. Congratulations on your 3-0 up against Granite Gaming. I have to ask, how does it feel to get that 3-0 win?
I mean, it feels good. First objective down, kinda. So we're not too excited yet. We have a tough opponent next match.
Fair, absolutely. Well, we're not going to keep you too long. I want to throw it over to Justin first for a quick question.
Yeah, so how do you prepare for a match like this when you know that you have 2 matches, potentially, if you win the first one? And also, would you say is the opponent that you're most afraid of in the Gauntlet as it progresses?
I mean, I think we just have, when you prepare, you kind of have to prepare just in general, like just get your teamwork together and figure out what you would like to play on all the maps. And that's what we've been doing the past 2 weeks. And I think the next match is looking scary. Storm is really strong. I think Rutzo is obviously a very good player and a good drafter, and they have pretty much solid players on all their roles. So I think Storm is looking kind of dangerous.
Oh, well, Storm definitely is something that you have to weather very soon. And Grubby, any question for Make?
Yeah, do you guys feel like the break last couple of weeks, however you used it, helped you? Both like relaxation plus freeing your mind, and then like however much time you got to practice together to prepare for this playoff run?
I think we took a big break for Christmas and New Year's. Everyone went back home to their families, enjoyed the holidays, partied a bit on New Year's. And then, I kind of well-timed getting Corona to the playoffs now. So I was rested, but now I had the Corona for the past 3 days. So it's
rough.
Yeah, I mean, it's still, you're hyped for playoffs,
Yeah, we couldn't tell.
No.
Thank you for soldiering on despite that state. And, great start. Very correctly so. You're not satisfied whatsoever yet. You still got a road to go, hopefully a long one for you. What would be the minimum placement that you and your teammates would be satisfied with in this season?
I mean, obviously, I think we want to get through not finishing Gauntlet for sure. If we don't do that, I think we would be disappointed. I think that's the goal. And then I think we have 3 super strong teams in the playoffs, so we'll see. But just getting through the Gauntlet is the goal for now.
Take it one step at a time, and good luck with each one, mate.
Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. You gotta keep your wits about you. You can't get too ahead of yourself. And as I said, we're not gonna keep you too long. Before I let you run out of here, are there any shoutouts that you'd like to give?
Yeah, shout out to Chile Mountain, all our teammates, and shout out to the Miami LAN coming up. It's gonna be fun meeting some NA guys who I haven't met yet.
Alrighty, well, congratulations on your victory versus Granite Gaming, and good luck in your upcoming matchup versus Storm Esports in a little bit. We'll see you in the upcoming map, my friend.
Yes, we will. Thank you, guys.
Thank you for joining us. Grubby, I like the mentals that he has about this, and you kind of alluded to it a little bit in the interview. It's baby steps. You really can't look at it like, oh, we beat Granite, we're on the way. It's like no. We still have the Titan of Storm, we have Oxygen, we have Diamond Hands. There's a lot of gatekeepers left for the side of Chili Mountain, but we're gonna take a small little break. We're gonna let Chili Mountain cool off a little bit, get ready for Storm Esports. As you just saw that ticker on the bottom of your screen flip over to this next matchup. We're gonna have a short little break, as I had mentioned, and as always in these breaks, we're going to have a wonderful interview with Kyle Ferguson and Dayquaza from Storm Esports to talk about his upcoming matchup versus, well, he didn't know at the time, so it's going to be talking about both of them and the potential. But either way, thank you everyone for watching HeroesCCL. Don't go anywhere. We've got another best of 5 coming up after this short little break. Enjoy the Kyle Ferguson Dayquaza interview. Don't go anywhere. This is HeroesCCL presented by Wisdom.